We are rolling.
Pretty amazing, pretty wonderful. It's, you know, for me the biggest thrill, aside from getting to work with all these amazing people, is getting to see stuff that came out of this and this about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Rendered real and made concrete, you know, and flesh and blood, and you know, like the fact that you know the sequence we're shooting tonight is our sequence in Quebec, and you know, I live in Montreal, and so I wrote, you know, there's a gigantic 50-foot Quebec flag dwarfing the much smaller American and Canadian ones, and there it is. And like, and so for me, it's just like that never gets old. Seeing stuff I came up with and seeing people work their arses off to make it come to life is pretty special. You know, it's the hours are a bit strange, you know, because we're making a hockey movie in Manitoba during hockey season, so that means that every rink in the province is being used during the day.
Yeah.
So what happens is we end up starting work at around 11 or 12 at night and shooting until about lunchtime the next day. That gets old. That definitely gets old.
I bet.
I wouldn't call it hockey. I've always been a very terrible skater, which is like, you know, it's been a hard pill to swallow the whole time.
We are rolling.
Being here is, I have to say, it's improved my skating. That being said, I'm still not in a hurry to get out there with all these boys, because I don't need to be the ringer. No, is, you know, the sport I really played when I was a kid was softball for 2 years, and I'm okay at soccer, but no, it was I think the greatest. I broke my dad's heart when I didn't turn into a hockey player, and he thought, worst case scenario, at least I could play baseball, and yeah, I didn't want that either. I was always much more eager to get back inside and, I don't know, write my stories and watch cartoons and movies and play with my G.I. Joes and come up with crazy plots for them, and you know, you do that long enough and you get to make a movie. It's been incredibly easy, and it isn't always like this. And you know, I think what helps is that it's a smaller movie, so the vast majority of people here aren't here to earn a paycheck. Really, there's easier ways to get paid, and to get paid more. So I know that everybody's here because they, pardon my French, they give a shit.
Yeah.
You know, they really do. And so you know, there are a myriad of legacies for me on this movie, not the least of which is that I'm walking away from it with some legitimate, like, best friends that I didn't know, guys that I didn't know before this flick, and as a result of this flick, I have, you know, I've gained some brothers, and some of this, you know, some pretty important people in my life that I met on this movie, and you know, there's this kind of collegiate kind of, we're all in it together thing, you know.
Yeah.
I think the crappy hours and the connection to the material, I think that's what's kind of bonded to everyone. I just knew that I wanted it to be grandiose and epic, and like, obviously we always knew it would be funny, but to me that wasn't enough, and that like the humor in it would be made irrelevant if there was nothing for the audience to connect to or to be compelled by.
Yeah.
And to me,
we're rolling. Background, everybody up, and no clapping, but more cheering, guys in the front row. Don't need to be clapping, cheering,
Sorry.
watching the play.
Yeah, so it was just like sort of I wanted to make it I wanted to make an epic, an absolute epic, because to me this is like, it's the only sport in the world which has 3 acts to it in every game, and there's something real classic about that.
Okay, background cheering.
Jesus Christ, that's annoying. And yeah, so I just knew that it had to have balls and teeth and a weight to it, and you know, every step of the way we wanted to make sure that we were trying to make Raging Bull with jokes. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but when you see it, you'll see that yes, it's real funny, but it's got a hell of a lot of heart, and I think we'll surprise people with how much we move them with this story and these characters. And also, it is just kind of there's moments of Braveheart in this thing. Like there is some genuine, like honest to God, classic epic film like war moments. Like this will get your blood pumping. This movie, and it'll kick you in the teeth too.